Nothing is written down, not because you didn't get around to it and not because you're disorganized, though many of us are, not because you've been too busy. Nothing is written down because you are the document. This matters because when you need to leave, that system or process leaves with you, whether it's vacation or sick, a week where you just need to think. The whole operation slows down or even stops because every decision or handoff or exception needs to run through you first. You don't have a business that occasionally needs you. You have a business that is you. What you think is happening in this spot, you're telling yourself the same story. I just need to carve out time to document everything. Block Friday, sit down, write SOPs, and then hand it off. So you try. You open a doc and then you stare at it. You might write a few bullet points about onboarding and then you get stuck because the step 4 or 5 or somewhere down the line, it depends on what the clients said in the discovery call. There's a decision to be made. And then the next step is dependent on whether it's a rush job. And then the next one is something that they never actually said out loud. It depends is probably the worst phrase in business because it depends. And the variants are tremendous. What actually happens is you are the SOP. Every handoff runs through your memory and every exception gets handed off by your judgment in the moment. The process only exists when you're in the room, and writing it down feels impossible because you're not documenting a system. You're trying to extract yourself from the architecture. Those are completely different problems, and one of them is way harder than the other. That's why a Friday block doesn't work or a weekend session doesn't work. You're not procrastinating as much as you're feeling like you're being asked to perform open heart surgery on yourself with a Google Doc. But think about documentation doesn't necessarily have to capture the system. It just replaces you as the system. That's the whole thing. You're not writing down what you do. You're building something that does what you do so that you can stop being the thing that does it. Once you see it that way, the work should change completely. You stop trying to remember every step and you start asking, what decision am I making here? And what would someone else need to make the same decision without me there? That's not documentation. That's design, and that is what you are looking for. If it only works when you're awake, you're not running a business, you're hosting it. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know.